everyone, I'm Natasha and I'm doing like my most favorite video of the year right now because today I'm talking about my most anticipated, wait for it, books, TV shows, and movies coming in the year 2016. This is my third time doing this video, and 2016 so far, I am highly anticipating a lot of things. You're gonna see how each category gets bigger and bigger as we go along. Each category is going from ascending order, so I'm gonna start with my least most anticipated, but still highly anticipating because it made the list, to my most anticipated by the end of the category. The first book on this list is A Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. It's coming out April 5th. I didn't read Soundless this year, so I would like to get to that some point in 2016. But A Glittering Court is the first book in a series for Rochelle Mead. I love her writing. I love just all of her characters. It's so much fun. I'll leave the video that Christine did with Rochelle if you want to hear more about it down below. Next is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is a retelling of The Queen of Hearts of Alice in Wonderland, like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. I had forgotten that this was coming out this year and that she's been working on it for a while. I love Marissa Meyer. I love the Lunar Chronicles, and I love retellings. Basically, Marissa Meyer is the chocolate to my cravings. She is the crack to my once upon a time drug addiction. Really excited about this one. I don't know when it's coming out, so editing and Tasha will put the date right here. My most anticipated book of 2016 was really hard, but these next three probably like are just equal with each other. But I'm gonna start first with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. If you haven't seen my favorite books in 2015 video yet, go watch it so you can see like which book took the cake for like my most favorite read in 2015. But Court of Thorn and Roses, it was in there, guys. This book was everything that I wanted in a young adult / new adult fairy tale retelling. I love the, I guess, sauciness that Sarah J. Maas brings to all of her characters. And A Court of Mist and Fury is coming out on May 3rd. This next book was actually in last year's list, but it got pushed forward all the way until 2016, all the way until, when's it coming out? March 8th. 3 days before my birthday. I'm going to be reading it on my birthday. That's really exciting. But it is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Now, I would have put this as my most anticipated, but my most anticipated is the last book in a series. And this is the first book. If you haven't heard, it's another book in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. It's the first book in the Dark Artifice series that I have actually been anticipating for a really long time now. It's set in California, LA specifically. That's my home, so I'm gonna know where everything is. I'm feeling deja vu because I said this in my last video. It's gonna be set in Los Angeles, and it's my home. I'm gonna know where everything is. How many of you guys can guess my most anticipated book? I know you probably already have it in your head. So have it in your head, and if you guess right, then I will give you fangirl points. My most anticipated book of 2016, it has to go to Morning Star by Pierce Brown. This is the end to the trilogy. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be mind-blowing. If you have been waiting to read the Red Rising trilogy because the last book hasn't come out yet and you kind of want to binge read them, start now, and it comes out February 9th. It's a month away. I feel like my list this year is a nice mix of returning shows and new shows coming in winter. So the first on my list is Teen Wolf, it's already come back. I was on Instagram one day and they said 2 days until Teen Wolf was coming back. I'm like, what? No one told me. I didn't even have time to make a theories video, so oh well. I mean, yeah. It's first on my list for a reason because I'm not overly excited. I just haven't been thrilled by Teen Wolf in like the last couple years. I really hope this new season is gonna like blow my socks off. Next on my list is a book to TV show adaptation, and MTV is bringing it to the screens. It's the Shannara Chronicles. This is a really long series that was adapted from Terry Brooks' The Shannara Chronicles, the Elf Stones series. I've heard from a lot of people who I trust that the first episode was pretty great, so yeah, I'm excited about this one because again, it's like a high fantasy type of show like Game of Thrones. These next 2 series are coming to Netflix at probably the end of 2016. The first one is Luke Cage. I just finished binge watching Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones was phenomenal. If you haven't already watched it, do yourself a favor and go watch it. But they introduced Luke Cage in that show because they're getting ready for the Defenders TV show, because it's going to be Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, another character that I don't know and I don't feel like looking up. The TV show will follow Luke's life before he met Jessica, so I'm excited to see his backstory. Next show, I don't think it has a premiere date. I'm assuming it's probably gonna come in November, but it's a series of unfortunate events. I didn't read the books for this one, but I love that first movie with Jim Carrey. I'm excited to see how they adapt it to a TV show, and I'm excited to see more of these characters and more of their story brought to life. I had to put Shadowhunters on this list. Even though I'm really scared, I'm still excited for it. I'm excited to see the actors portray these characters because I really love the casting. Aside from Clary. She's okay. They've definitely changed it. So I just have to prepare myself for all the changes. I just hope that they haven't lost the essence of the show. Hopefully everyone will love it. Readers will love it, and non-readers around. These next 3 shows have been well loved by me, so I've already talked about them a lot. You guys are gonna be like, Natasha, why is this so far down on the list? Okay, I'm putting Outlander right here in the 3rd spot. I'm sorry, I know, I really love Outlander, but I'm terrified of the 2nd season. I've read the book. I know what happens. There was a lot of heartbreak and probably the most tears I've ever cried in a book before, so I'm putting it there because I'm scared of my reaction to it. But nonetheless, I'm still really excited about it. I love this show. I love the story. I love the characters and the actors. And it's a beautiful show, okay? I don't want to wait like 8 months between like the first half of the season and the second half. That was torture. Please, stars, don't make us wait for the second half of season 2. Please. I wonder if you guys can guess my like next 2 most anticipated TV shows. Can you? What haven't I talked about yet? So if you guessed Once Upon a Time, you win fangirl points. I reviewed all of the first half of season 5 already, so if you haven't watched that yet, go do it if you want to, just talk about our feelings. The show left us not really in a cliffhanger, but it left us hurt and it left our hearts sore. I didn't predict where the show was going to end for the mid-season finale. Once Upon a Time doesn't come back until March 6th. I'm not looking forward to waiting for my favorite shows to come back. So I'm very grateful for these January shows. Speaking of another January show coming back, after 14 years of hiatus, not really, it ended, but it's coming back for a little tiny miniseries. It is X-Files. If any of you guys actually guessed X-Files, whoa, you guys are gonna get like 50 fangirl points because you know me, we're friends then. X-Files is my favorite TV show of all time. So when I found out that they were bringing it back to Fox for just a little sliver, we're getting 6 episodes, I screamed. They filmed over the summer in Vancouver and it's coming back. When's it coming back? It's coming back January 24th. It's so soon. I can't wait to see Scully and Mulder back together. The only thing I'm worried about is the story. When they came back for the movie back in 2008, no one liked that movie. No one liked the second X-Files movie. It wasn't about any aliens. It was one of their like monsters of the week, basically. So it was a movie for fans and non-fans of the show to watch. And they shouldn't have come back with a movie. So I hope that this is good. There are a lot of movies coming out in 2016. A lot of really like nerdy movies and sequels. Probably like 10 to 15 movies that I know I will be seeing in the theater. Like I will pay to put my butt in a seat and watch it. These are big budget, box office hit, okay? 2016 is probably going to be a great year for the box office, but 2015 was the biggest year for box office in history, so I don't think we're going to be able to top it in 2016, but we might try. We'll try. The first movie is a comic book movie, and it's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out in February, so get ready. And it's Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds has been trying to get this movie off the ground since Wolverine, like the first Wolverine origin story. Yeah, it's rated R, so it's explicit. The movie's gonna be explicit because Deadpool is explicit. This movie is only at the end of my list because it's coming out really soon. So it's The Fifth Wave. I loved reading that book. I just don't understand why it's coming out in January. And I remember seeing the release date for the first time and I just got worried. The studio doesn't have any faith in the film if it's coming out in January. It doesn't even have a spot in February. Like, February is an okay month to release a movie because you have Valentine's Day and people are going out on dates, but January, it's winter time. No one likes to leave their homes. Theaters are cold. I hope it's good, but the guys are cute. This movie, I didn't know it was coming out this year. I actually had no idea they had remade it, and it's Tarzan. This one's coming out on July 1st. We have Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie. Now, if you've seen any of the stills from the movie, like, it looks red hot. So Jane and Tarzan have already been married and they're already living a well-cultured life in England. Jane gets captured back to South America and Tarzan follows her. He taps back into his primate side. I feel like it's gonna be a badass movie, but like a steamy badass movie. Next, we have a film that isn't a nerdy movie. Like, it doesn't have any origins in comics or books, but it does have actors that I'm really excited to see play off each other, and that is Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt. This is coming out December 21st. This is a space movie. This is a sci-fi movie. Listen to this synopsis. It sounds wonderful, but not really. It sounds depressing also. A spacecraft traveling to a distant colony planet and transporting thousands of people has a malfunction in one of its sleep chambers. As a result, a single passenger is awakened 60 years early. Faced with the prospect of growing old and dying alone, that's scary. He, meaning Chris Pratt, eventually decides to wake up a second passenger, which is Jennifer Lawrence. Their lives are going to be spent on this spaceship. No one is there to save them. They can't call for help because they don't know how to work the stupid spaceship. It's gonna be a love story, obviously. Maybe they might get saved. I hope it's kind of funny because you have Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, and I just think they are a dream team acting duo. I'm sure if other actors were going to be in this movie, I wouldn't be as excited as I am right now, but since it's like J-Law and C-Pat, yeah, I'm excited. The next movie on my list is X-Men Apocalypse. This is a comic book movie. I love X-Men so much, and after the end of the last one, I'm interested to see what they're doing with this new film. Like, it's gonna be set in the 80s. There isn't any of the old cast, like the old cast from the beginning, aside from Hugh Jackman. He's gonna be in it as Wolverine. This is the last movie before everyone's contracts are up. Like, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, they're not coming back to reprise these roles, as they've said. Since it's set in the 80s, we're gonna see the young characters from the first movies, like Jean Grey, Storm, Cyclops. Just like Days of Future Past, there was a lot of cast in this film. I hope everyone gets their own amount of screen time and that it's still just a great X-Men movie. Finding Dory is coming out this year. I'm not a big animated film person. It's not my first choice when I go to a movie theater. I was kind of older for Finding Nemo, but still, like, it was still one of my favorite movies. So Finding Dory, Ellen DeGeneres, I'm there. I'm putting these together because they're two DC films, and I feel like I am excited on the same level for both of them. Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is coming out this year. My excitement level for Batman vs. Superman was like up here when they announced it at Comic-Con, and it has slowly been going down from there. I'm only seeing it at this point for Henry Cavill and for Wonder Woman. And then we're gonna get the Wonder Woman movie in 2017. So yeah, Wonder Woman is my favorite superhero of all time, and I hope they do her justice. Suicide Squad. This one, I'm a little bit more excited about because of the cast. And it has a different director and a different writer. Suicide Squad is going to be a lot different from any like superhero film that we have seen. It's probably going to be closer to like the Marvel Knights, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, stuff like that. Next movie is The Huntsman Winter War. This is a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman. Kristen Stewart is not in this film, and the director is not directing this film. However, I'm still excited for Charlize Theron. I'm excited for Chris Hemsworth because he's beautiful and I love every movie that he's ever done. I don't know what's gonna happen with like the Snow White thing because I thought in Snow White and the Huntsman that they were kind of putting the Huntsman and Snow White together, but it's Chris Hemsworth and they're fairy tales and it's a phenomenal cast, so it's gonna be good. So this next movie is coming out kind of, I think, November. It's Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch. The Marvel movies have been teasing Doctor Strange for a long time. It's Benedict Cumberbatch, it's Marvel, you know it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be like psychedelic. If you haven't seen any of the stills yet, psychedelic is the word that I would use to describe Doctor Strange. Now for my last two most anticipated movies of the year, I don't know if you guys can guess these. Captain America Civil War is coming out in May. Age of Ultron was a little bit of a disappointment, but I feel like they were just building up to Civil War. It's gonna be heartbreaking to see these characters fight each other. I remember seeing the trailer with my younger cousins for The Force Awakens, and they were like almost on the verge of crying because they love those characters so much. A lot of new characters are in this film. It's basically going to be an Avengers just minus Thor. Well, at least we'll get Chris Hemsworth in The Huntsman this year. And for my last most anticipated movie of the year, it has to go to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh my gosh, Harry Potter's coming back, but it's not Harry Potter, it's like in the magical world. It's set in 1920, so it's an historical drama, and oh my gosh, I'm just like...
I'm ready to be an adult Harry Potter fan, okay? This, I feel, is perfect timing. It's going to be magical, and I can't wait to have that feeling again that I haven't felt since 2011, right? That was when Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. That is it for my most anticipated 2016. The list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Let me know what your most anticipated movie is this year. Like we talk about books a lot on this channel. We talk about TV. Let's talk about movies. Put your most anticipated movie down below, or if you guessed any of mine. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to follow the Tashapolis for any news on anything that I mentioned in this video. That's where we post all about movies and TV shows and books. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the future. Keep calm and fangirl on. Bye! Here. Shut up, computer. Shush. Turn the fan off. Shush. Why am I orange? I'm still orange. Stop it. There we go. I'm back to normal. Shush. This next one. Oh man. Stop being orange. Turn blue. Turn blue. Okay. Let's go back.